Hello folks, welcome to Living Off the Slab. I'm Craig Ripley. Now those of you who've been watching my channel know that I am in the market for a second bike. In particular, I'm looking for a new adventure touring bike, something that I can do my long trips on, but also get off road a little bit, have a little fun if I hit a dirt road or so forth. Not looking for anything hardcore, but just something that will enable me to extend my riding a little bit. I've got a list of about 5 bikes that I am looking for to ride, and one of those bikes is the Yamaha Super Tenere. In particular, I'm looking for the ES edition that comes with the electronically adjustable suspension and the heated grips. So I was up at my local Victory dealer, Mom's, in Foxborough, Massachusetts, and they just happen to be a Yamaha dealer as well. They have another shop up in Manchester, New Hampshire, and that's where the name comes from, Motorcycles of Manchester. But they just recently picked up Yamaha for their dealership down here in Foxborough, so I asked them if they had a Tenere that I could take out for a test ride. Now, Yamaha sells the Tenere in 2 models. One, there's a base model that goes for $15,090, and then there's the ES version that adds another $1,100 on top of that. And as I mentioned in my opening, what you get for that is heated grips, and you also get the electronically adjustable suspension. So for $1,100, again, that's the one I'm going for. So the Tenere comes with an 1199cc parallel twin engine and a 6-speed transmission. At 95 horsepower, this isn't the stoutest engine in this group of bikes that I am looking for. But that may or may not matter. When I take it out for a test ride, I want to see, is it got the horsepower that I need to get out there and cruise at 75, 80 miles an hour on the highway, and again, to get out of its own way, to get me out of trouble if I need it to. Now, like all of the other bikes in this category, the Super Tenere comes with a lot of bells and whistles. Right? It comes with a cruise control, a chip controlled throttle, which is basically a ride-by-wire throttle, and it has 2 modes in the throttle. It has a touring mode and a sport mode that you can switch on the fly with just one button. Of course, it also has ABS and it has traction control, and there are 3 modes for traction control: off, 1, and 2. Now, ABS on the Super Tenere cannot be turned off. It is on all of the time. Now, the brakes on the Tenere are also a linked system. Like my Victory Vision, if you hit the front brake, you're going to get some of the rear, and if you hit the rear brake, you're going to get some of the front. However, on the Tenere, it works just slightly differently. If you hit the rear brake first, it turns off the linking system, and then you can use each brake independently. However, if you use the fronts first, you're going to get the link system where you get all of the stopping power of the front brake and a partial application of the rear brake. Another thing that I really like about the Tenere is that it is shaft drive, so it's maintenance free. Basically, I just have to take it in every once in a while and get it lubed and get the oil changed and so forth. But other than that, I don't really have to worry about it. It also has a 6.1 gallon gas tank. Now, that's not as large as some of the bikes in this category. They'll go up to 7 and even 8 gallons, but it will get you a pretty good range. They say that the Tenere will get around 43 miles to the gallon. So on 6 gallons, you should get around in that 200 to 240 mile range per tank. So after taking the Tenere for a ride, here are my pros. Here are the things I like about the bike. 1, it's cheap, relatively speaking anyway. It's $16,000 for the base model. That leaves a ton of room to add accessories, panniers, etc. After the fact. 2, Yamaha is known to be the most reliable brand on the market. You know, if you watch my other videos, that is the big thing for me, reliability. 3, an intangible is the dealer. I know this dealer very well. I bought my Victory motorcycle from them. I know that they do a great job. So that's the big plus. I say it already has a couple of marks in its favor for the Tenere. Is that going to mean that this is the one I'm going to buy? Nope. I'm still going to ride the other ones. I'm going to check them out and talk to those dealers as well. But it is a big plus for me. Other things that I really liked about the Tenere is the engine is really torquey. Right? There were curves that I went around on this route that normally on my Vision I've got a downshift to keep the engine from lugging, but on this bike I was able to go around them in 4th and even 5th gear, and it just didn't care. It was awesome. It really has a lot of low-end torque in this engine, and it's peppy enough. It was great going 75, even up to 80 miles an hour on the highway. There was some buffeting, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but overall, it's a really nice, peppy engine. Not as strong as something like the Ducati or even the BMW, but still a really nice, peppy engine. The Tenere also comes with tubeless spoked wheels, which is a great thing for off-road. Much stronger, lighter rim for off-road riding. Now, one thing that is a little problem, at least for me, on the Tenere, and actually for all of these kind of bikes, is that I'm a little bit vertically challenged, right? I'm 5'9", I have a 31-inch inseam. I'm just an average height guy. So when this seat is set to its highest position at 34.3 inches, I can handle it, but even when I'm just putting one foot down, I've got to kind of tippy-toe it a little bit. So for this bike, if this is the one that I decide to get, I'm going to have to use that lower seat height at 33.3 inches, drops it down an inch, so that I can at least get 1 foot flat on the ground. As far as comfort goes, the Tenere was pretty comfortable. The seat was a little bit hard, but I wasn't uncomfortable on it, and the more that I rode it, actually the better it felt. I'm interested to see if I put it down in that lower position, see what it feels like there. Because like I said, it was in the high position when I test rode the bike. Alright, so some things that I didn't really like about the Tenere. One thing that is kind of picky, I know, but it doesn't have self-canceling turn signals. I'm used to them now on my Vision that I can, hit the turn signal, and after 30 seconds, if I don't turn it off myself, it will turn itself off. Well, on the Tenere, that's not true. It's like a lot of bikes out there on the market, you have to hit the button again to turn it off. Again, not a big deal, but something I would have to get used to. The other thing, again, that can be fixed, but on the current setup, is the windscreen. It's not big enough to get out there on the road. I was getting a little bit of buffeting, so that would have to be changed, whether I'm going to add some wings as an add-on or just get a bigger screen. I don't know. I'd have to look into that, but that definitely would have to be changed. Third thing, well, the mirrors. They were adequate. I could see well enough, after I adjusted them, but I think I would like something a little bit bigger and maybe out a little bit wider so that I could see more of the road, and particularly what was behind me. And since I'm being picky, there's one more thing that I kind of thought was a pain, and that is they've got a windscreen that is supposed to be adjustable without any tools, but neither myself nor the salesperson could figure out how to get it to move up and down. Loosened the screws and it just didn't want to go anywhere. I'm sure we could probably read the manual and figure out how to do it, but it should be easier than that. Come on. Okay, so that's my review of the Yamaha Super Tenere ES edition. One of the bikes I'm looking at and trying to decide on what's going to be my second bike, my adventure touring bike. I really like this bike, and its plus is, again, the cost. Downsides, well, we talked about that a little bit, plus something I didn't mention, it's a little bit heavy at 575, 580 pounds, but when I was riding it, I really didn't feel that at all, so I don't know, that's probably not even going to be a consideration for me at all. All of the bikes that I'm looking at are in excess of 500 pounds anyway, and since I've been riding a 900-pound bike, again, they all feel really light to me. But I really like this bike. Will I choose it in the end? I don't know yet. Keep watching and we'll do some more reviews and we'll make the final decision eventually. So before I go, if you like what I'm doing here, please subscribe. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, and you can follow us at my website, www.livingofftheslab.com.